everybody, and welcome to my channel. I am Little Red Dot, and I am so excited you are here for the premiere episode of Witch Girl Adventures. If you are just stopping by, I don't know if it was the witches, if it was the drama, if it was, I have no idea what it was that brought you here. But if you have found your way here and stumbled upon the adventure of the witches, we are so glad that you have made it. So before I kind of dive too far in, know that tonight's stream is also a Learn by Play. Part of the series that I'm doing is called Indies, Monthly Indies, and this is my indie. Oh, thank you for that follow. There's some kitty kisses for you. The series that we're doing is a indie series where we play through games that may not get quite as much hype, or that need a little, like, limelight here on Twitch, and that is my goal, is to give it that limelight. And I'm so excited to have 3 of our 6 witches with us this week. The other 6 have lost themselves at PAX. We will have them back hopefully next week. But we're saying they are elsewhere in the story, and I'm sure we'll get to that. But let's go around to the 3 cast members we do have with us this week. Let them introduce themselves and tell us about their witch. Thank you! And let's start at the top, because you're kind of at the top by yourself. Miss RTS Cosplay, or Tiffany.
Hello. Okay, so I am Tiffany. I will be playing Persephone Rosewood. She goes by the name Percy. She is a rustic click witch, so she has a lot of ties to nature and the outdoors and plants and healings, which in turn makes her main magic type elementalism. So she also does healing, a little bit of illusions and stuff, but mostly she's all about those plants. On top of that, she's really kind of internet fan. Like, she has an Instagram account, she does fashion blogging, she posts a lot about her plants and like magic, and she thinks she's getting away with it and is being really clever. She tells everyone online she's Wiccan so that they don't quite know she's a real witch. But I don't think it's as clever as she thinks it is.
The mundanes don't get it, yeah.
Yeah, right. So that's kind of Percy's deal. She loves plants and fashion, really.
Wow.
And I do a lot of cosplay and graphic design. You can find me at RTS Cosplay on Instagram and Twitter. I also am a producer and our current main story GM for the podcast me and Chelsea are on, called North by Northwest. So please check it out. It's D&D, and it's at NXN Quest on all the social medias. So.
I can attest. It is primo.
It's good quality. Good quality.
It's good quality. You should check that out. I heard there's a mushroom on there. Speaking of mushrooms, yes. You can put more mushrooms in this cup down here. This one, I think it's like where we know it's down there. Yeah. It's like down there. There it is. Okay, I got it. Down there in that corner, there is now a cup. You can put more things in that cup and splash it. With things. All kinds of things will fall. Red dots fall into it. Little mushrooms fall into it. Little things that I would like to collect in a cup. So please fill my cup. And when you do, you add drama to the drama bar. We're going to talk about what that does here in a second. But I am getting ahead of myself. Before I do, let me introduce our other 2 witches. Next up is Shauna.
Hi, I'm Shauna. Flying Cirrus on Twitter. Just do art on my Twitter, and in a bunch of Power RPG things, including Waffle Talk.
Yes.
The camera action show. And then I'm playing Jessamine Hana Jess. She is a outsider, which just means she's more used to dealing with the mundane, non-magical world than the magic world. And she is more of a kind of like jock witch sort of thing. So she's very into like broom sports, very kind of like, that's how she dresses, kind of like in kind of punky jock style. Yeah. And she's used to, even though she's used to living in the mundane world, she is also used to kind of like keeping it on the down low, because she, in addition to being what, she's also half werewolf. So
yeah, you got to keep that on the DL, at least in this world. And we will learn today in history class, in fact, potentially why that is. Just saying. Okay, history class, where things get serious. And last but certainly not least, we have our lovely gluttonous geek here. How are you?
Hi there. My name is Catherine Barasanistas. I run the geeky food blog, The Gluttonous Geek. I've also done recipes based off of podcasts, so that's how I know Miss Chelsea and Tiffany over here. I play Loretta Maytree, a insider witch. Insider in that she was raised in sort of a mundane society, but it was anything but normal. Mostly because she looks like she stepped out of a 1950s sitcom and acts pretty much the same way. The Conjuring Witch, mostly, food and clothing. She's got a really huge obsession with color and fashion, especially since she's now in a bright new world of all sorts of crazy things. And she has this big, fat, roly-poly house cat that follows around everywhere named Mr. Whiskers. Not magical, just really, really loves his mom. And I'll be inserting other crazy 50s teenage slang, as well as cooking up some chicken and dumplings out of thin air.
Wow. Things to look forward to in the Witch Girls Adventures. I'm so excited, though, to have these three ladies, because we are only we got our first splash. Thank you for that splash. Oh, it fell out. Okay. I may have to, dump the cup. I gotta figure that out. As for this game in particular, I was very excited about it. So first off, if you start really enjoying the stream, well, guess what? The writer, Malcolm, who is just fantastic and who had a great creative team behind this, all the artwork we've been using, everything was created by his team for this game. You can get your hands on it for quite a discount he is running for those people tuning into the stream. So first things first, if you just want to learn about... Sorry, adventure's a word I can't say and type at the same time. I want to make sure I get this right. Yeah. You can get your hands on a bundle group, I believe, this evening, including 20 PDFs, and I believe there's another bundle if you want a print copy as well, and they're ridiculously discounted and reduced. So I'm going to drop that link here too, and then I'm going to get to talking about how you can start filling up this drama bar in just a second. So if you want to get your hands on a copy, you can do so with the Witch Girls Adventure. Throughout the evening, you can also type this code in if you like, and that way you can learn about it. I don't have to do it. What did I put? I can't remember. Oh yes, I do. I do remember. That's what I put. Aha! Now you can get a bundle. So there are two links there, one for the PDF bundle and one for the PDF and print copy bundle. I think the 20 PDFs are only 25 bucks. It's ridiculous. So get your hands on a copy so that you too can be all witchy and stuff. And I'll repeat that multiple times throughout the night in case you're like, hey, what was that link again? And I'll be like, here, let me hit you up with that. So, yeah, let's dive right into this. So this game takes place in our world, in a world where witches have been, throughout history, we will learn today, intermingled with what is known as mundane society. And they live in different balances between knowledge of one another and sometimes only whispers. But that being said, our story takes place in a world where the witches kind of rule. And specifically in this world, the witches are required to attend witch school. There are multiple schools throughout the world that witches can select and choose from, but our 4-campaign adventure is going to take place at one school in particular, Willow-Mistt Academy. Now, Willow-Mistt Academy resides in Maine. It's one of the only witch schools that actually sits on the mundane realm, and works in tandem, actually, with the local town, Willowbrook, and they have a deep history of why they're allowed to kind of coincide. But this means that the girls that attend here have a chance to potentially live both lives, at least for a period of time. And a witch, of course, must learn her magic before she is 18. It is witch council law. Now, the scene opens up with the sound of a 1950s love song playing on a record. Scratchy, but full. And we see Loretta Maytree standing, washing dishes in a very picturesque 1950s kitchen. And as you stand there scrubbing dishes, tell me what your kitchen looks like. This is your mother's kitchen.
Well, my mother's kitchen is has all the best appliances that one can have in the 1950s. You know, fridge, it looks like it's a Cadillac, but of course all in black and white. She's got, of course, the fold down countertops, just with all of the food storage and all that too. And she's washing dishes and realizes that they just run out of soap. So she just raises her eyebrow, and a new bottle of soap just appears in her hand. And she pours in some more and starts washing.
Something begins to happen as you start to scrub away at the dishes with this new bottle of soap that appeared out of nowhere. The gray, dull tone that is the existence of your life, that washes over everything, the colorless world, it starts to wash away. And this strange tinge that you've never seen before is on your hands. It's not gray. And as you begin to scrub more and more, it starts to wash off. You hear her cough from upstairs. You know that she is in bed today. And you kind of hear her say, "What?"
I think I might not be well.
And you hear her, like, just super raspy. Just breaking down, trying to communicate with you at the bottom of the stairs.
Mother, can I make you some tea?
And she goes, "No, child, it's okay."
Okay, well, would you like Mr. Whiskers to come up?
No, keep him away.
Oh, okay, Mother. And she just goes back to doing dishes a little bit.
Yeah, and you keep scrubbing. Are you wearing yellow gloves, or are you barehanded?
I'm wearing gloves, but I guess I now know they're yellow.
Yeah, I was about to say, you're like scrubbing, you're like, this color, it hurts your eyes. And the more water you kind of splash on yourself, your apron starts to show color, and it drips and runs like paint.
I probably scream and yank the gloves off and cower in a corner. Just kind of rocking back and forth.
You hear your mother go, "Loretta, what is it?" And she gets out of bed, and you know that because she hits the floor.
That just sobers her up entirely. And she starts running up the stairs. Mr. Whisker is just running behind her, meowing like crazy. "Mother, are you okay, Mother?"
Oh, you hear her kind of groan, and you push her bedroom door open, and it is canopy bed, beautiful, well-kept home, not a lick of dust anywhere, probably thanks to Loretta, no doubt, but taught by her mother. And there lies your mother on the ground, pale and sickly, thin. She's coughing, and you can tell that she's coughing up blood in her hand.
Question. Mm-hmm. Did I just notice this now, or has she been
You
sick
would
for a
have
while?
known this for a while.
Mother, just hold on. I'll call the doctor. I'll just
No,
hold on,
No, she
Mother.
says, and you see that the blood is red, this crimson thick. You've never seen it like that before. It's all over her, and she says, "No, put me in the bed. I have to tell you something."
I drag her up to the bed.
So yeah, you help her up, and you kind of get her comfortable, and she's breathing heavy, and she says, in the side table, there's a letter."
I just kind of throw everything out of the drawer, just trying to find a letter.
And it doesn't take you long. There's this beautiful cream-colored envelope, almost the tone of your skin, and there's a seal stamp in the upper right-hand corner. And she says, "Open that and read it."
She opens it.
It says,
just kind of looking back and forth.
yeah, back and forth, and you like
Mother's
open it
still
up.
alive.
It's beautiful letterpressed note that says, "Welcome to Willow-Mistt Academy. We welcome Loretta Maytree, the 60th girl, to join our clan." And that's it. That's all it says.
Mother,
What?
What's this about?
I have done you a disservice, child. I have loved you but lied to you.
You could never do that, Mother. No, I don't believe you.
Loretta, I'm dying.
But no. The doctor says you just said that you're just
Loretta,
not
I
feeling
told
well.
the doctor not to tell you.
Oh gosh.
Have a seat and grab the kitty.
Mr. Whiskers.
He comes like bell jingling into the room at, of course, the call of your voice. What does Mr. Whiskers look like?
He is a fat tabby cat.
That's exactly how I pictured him when you said that.
Roly-poly tabby cat, and as the colors are starting to fade in, you realize he's a brown tabby with moss green eyes, and just the most adorable thing ever, but so dumb. Just roly-poly. He's a squirmy bowling ball.
It takes you a second. He can't decide if he's going to hop in your lap or if you should pick him up, because he's a cat. And you decide inevitably to pick him up with some effort. And you set this giant cat in your lap, and once you settle, your mother says, tomorrow morning, you're going away to a school. I taught you to be a witch, but I also lied to you about the world that you live in.
But what about the world?
It is perfect and wonderful, but the real world, Loretta.
Daydream isn't real?
No, it is not.
And
I
Dennis
cast a spell.
And Wednesday?
And she like coughs and she says, you have to let me tell you the truth. Do you know how we used to play make-believe? There's a great spell called make-believe. And I've been playing it for 16 years with you. You have to go.
Mother,
Yes.
I love you.
Oh, child, I love you too. So, she coughs. Pack your things. Only your best. They will suit you with the uniform when you get there. I'm sorry. But the truth is that it was inevitable for me to die. I simply wanted to see you grow up.
She doesn't know what to say at this point, and is just, I think, probably just leaves the room because she doesn't know how her brain is handling it.
Right.
I mean, she's trying. It's kind of hard not to ignore, especially with all these flashes of color coming in through everywhere.
And everything's beginning to disintegrate down. At least the grayscale kind of is. The record begins to skip as you probably pack your clothes in silence. Sans the sounds of your mother coughing through the night. The next morning, as the sun...
She's going to school. She's putting on her Sunday best, putting on her mother's pearls that she gave to her for her 16th birthday, and shoving everything into a bigger bag, and as well as kind of checking to see if Mr. Whiskers is okay before shoving him in the bag as well.
Yeah.
Because that boy is heavy.
Yeah.
And goes back to her mother's room.
And she says, you're packed very quickly. And you look wonderful, darling.
Thank you, Mom.
They will tell you everything you need to know. The Witches' Council will take care of you. I promise. Oh, okay. And try to have some fun.
Cheapers. Okay, Mom.
Oh. And no kissing boys.
But Mother!
Not until you're 18. Only ladies. Yeah, only ladies.
Ladies?
Ladies, be a lady. And a witch.
Oh. All right, Mother.
Now go over to my dresser.
She does.
Okay. There is a very special item there. It is the lipstick box. Women of the 50s used to keep their lipsticks in these boxes with the ends up on them, so you could always see what color you were choosing. And you know this box well. And she says, lift it up. And when you do, you get to see all the colors of the lipsticks for the first time. And she says, choose one.
Oh, gosh.
What color does Loretta choose?
Oh, this sounds really morbid, but it's Witch Girls. She picks the first color that she recognizes.
Yeah, something, maybe, oh, that's dark. I was going to say the red. But you do this beautiful crimson color, and she says, oh, it looks so beautiful on your skin. Now go on out the front door, and what once was night, your mother simply looks to the right, and she says, it is sunrise, and almost before your eyes, the first glimpse of sunrise you've ever seen in color starts to come through the window, and she says, I'm tired, Loretta.
And she doesn't really know what else to say. She turns around and heads out the door to a bright, new, beautiful world.
Yeah, and as you step out of the door, you are blinded by a very bright light, and your feet hit concrete. Not well-kept manicured grass. And you stand on a street corner, relatively empty for the morning. It looks like a bus stop. A black car pulls up, a Cadillac. Unlike anything you've ever seen. It looks like a future mobile. Sleek, chrome, like trim. And a gentleman rolls down the side window, and a female in a very nice black dress and robe steps out, and she says, Miss Loretta Maytree.
Yes, ma'am?
Please, we are your ride.
Thank you.
And as you go to step, out of the sky flutters the letter that you left in your mother's room, as if you cannot leave without it. Right into your hand as you step into the car. And off the car goes, it pulls away. In the back seat is an older woman. And she says, Loretta, I am Burgess. I am here to answer questions until you arrive at Willow-Misst, which should be within the next 10 minutes.
Willow-Misst is a school, right?
Correct. It is an academy that trains roughly 60 girls every 4 years in the arts of the witches.
Are we in the future?
No, Loretta. You were trapped in a daydream by your mother for the last 16 years. You have no concept of the correct reality.
And what year is it?
The year is 2018.
She faints.
You feel a slight, like, on your face.
Mr. Whiskers, no, Mr. Whiskers,
She goes,
I don't wake up.
Loretta, we are here.
Oh.
And the door clicks open from the woman in the front. And
It wasn't a dream.
oh no, Loretta, welcome to your new home. And you step out onto this beautiful campus. Have you ever seen Maine? Pictures of Maine, images of them on the telly?
It doesn't usually look so colorful.
I was about to say the Maine that you have seen have been on those postcards. You know, there's like old 50s postcards you saw. There's like a one that you might have seen Maine. It was all hand painted, but definitely not in color. And as you step out onto the campus of Willow-Misst, it is beautiful. It is green grass across a lawn that leads to an extraordinary stone hall, like study hall. Something that you could only see in TV ever, Loretta. Large willow trees all over the place. Well kept, definitely. And standing right outside the car as you exit with Mr. Whiskers and your bags, which the gentleman is getting out of the trunk, stands a very tall, thin, and beautiful blonde-haired woman. She wears a hat and a red cloak, donned in fur.
Oh, I love your coat. It's just beautiful.
Thank you, Loretta. Your manners will suit you well here.
Oh, Thank you.
Yes, follow me. And she doesn't even introduce herself. She just, like, starts walking.
Oh, come, Mr. Whiskers.
I'm sure we can hear his bell trinkle along. She says, I am Willow-Mistt, the headmistress here at Willow-Mistt. I am so pleased that you have arrived.
Thank you.
You will complete our clique, our school, our academy. You are our 60th girl.
All right. She has no idea what that means.
Right. She says, did your mother not tell you?
She said I was going to school and that she was dying.
She has taught you how to use your powers.
Well, I wouldn't say that she did so much as her friends Samantha and Morticia did, but, a bit.
I'm sorry. Oh, right.
Oh.
And as you guys step off the grass, as you kind of cross this lawn to kind of steps, these large steps that lead up to the building, the sidewalk goes left and it goes right. And the gentleman that's been following you with your bags and the cat, he looks directly at Miss Amora, and he says, dorms? And she says, yes, please. And he splits with your bags the opposite direction. She says, please come, Loretta. We are going to go in and have a seat. We do not want you late for your first class.
Oh. All right.
And she scutters along and leads you to, like, into the building, which is beautiful white marble floors. Everything's adorned in this, like, oak, this beautifully stained oak. Big pictures on the wall. Everything you can only imagine a museum in New York City looked like.
She is slowing down and just kind of taking in all the sights.
She goes, Loretta, quickly. You will have plenty of time to see it for the next 4 years.
Oh, okay.
And she opens up to her office, which is beautiful. She has a giant wooden desk, two of them actually, that kind of sit parallel to one another. One that clearly has a lot of witches' supplies on it, and then another which seems relatively clean that she sits behind to communicate with people. There's a couple chairs, there's already a fire burning and candles, and the room smells of sage. And she says, please, Loretta, have a seat.
Okay. She does. She sits down and just kind of, as she's smelling the sage, she realizes she's trying not to break down because it smells just like her mother's chicken and dumplings.
And she says, to receive an invitation to Willow-Mistt is an honor. We only take on a certain number of witches, and I'm guessing it is news to you that there are more of us.
Yes. Yes, it is.
So, Loretta, just as the world that you knew was literally an entire world, we too have our own world in tandem with the real mundane world. Your mother kept you in a daydream, a make-believe state of the 1950s and everything that was its popular culture. Our witch world is ruled, governed, is maybe a better word, by the Worldwide Witches Council. They have a rule that witches by the age of 18 must be trained in an academy. They allotted your mother a special wish due to specific circumstances. You see, she was cursed to maintain her witch powers, but to live a physical mortal existence. And unfortunately she was sick, and there was nothing that any of us could do about it. So we allowed her, the council, to raise you how she saw fit. But unfortunately, she was only strong enough to last 16 years. And we felt it necessary to accept her letter when she wrote it. The story truly moved me, and I felt that you could benefit from a specific group here at Willow-Mistt that has been looking for the 6th in their clique.
Well, I'm always up to making new friends. I mean, I was in charge of the student government back at Daydreams High School that didn't actually exist.
Oh, Loretta, everything that you did, it was real, created by your mother for you. It's a beautiful gift. Do not hate her for it.
Oh no, I could never hate my mother. This is all very new for me, you see. Very new.
Yes, well, to help you acclimate a little, we do have a rule for witches that are qualified orphans. While they reside in an academy, they are required to earn a wage. A lot of witches take on small jobs on the academy grounds, but I thought it more suiting maybe to put you in a place that felt like home. Saturday, you are to report for your first shift at the local diner in Willowbrook. You will be waiting tables. I felt like that was something you might be interested in.
Oh, that's perfect. My mother owned the Witch Elm diner over in Daydream.
Yes, I know. I think this one will suit you quite nicely. They even serve pie.
Oh, I love pie.
Don't all mundanes. So, let us take you to your first... Yes, Loretta. Not everyone is a witch. Those that exist in the real world.
No, I know that not everyone's a witch. It's just we just called them people.
Oh,
you know?
No. We refer to them as mundanes. It's a lot easier in our day-to-day communications. But if you would like to call them people, technically witches and mundanes are people.
Well, I know everyone's just people.
Oh, Loretta. I hope your first year here at Willow-Mistt is eye-opening. Now come. I would like to take you to your first class.
Thank you.
Do you have any questions for me?
I might later, but right now there's probably just too many to count.
Well, trust me. The 6 ladies I am pairing you with, 5 ladies that you will be making the 6 for. They will answer any questions that you might have. They are a peculiar bunch.
Okay.
And she kind of stands and she says, now, as we walk, I want to inform you that Willow-Mistt does have a set of rules. A very important set of rules that we abide by. Yes?
She sits up straighter.
She says, no, stand and walk. You must learn to do 2 things at once. Come. She gets like, click, 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 click down the hallway. And she says, first, students here shall treat all other students like sisters. You cannot cast harmful spells on other students.
No.
You cannot haze other students. You shall report on time to all school functions and classes, as told. Students are not to run, fly, or teleport in the hallways. Students are to treat staff members with respect and kindness, and use ma'am and sir when speaking to them, yes?
Yes.
Gonna fit in here great, Loretta. Students whose grades are unacceptable shall not be allowed to participate in any extracurricular activities. This includes broom riding. Did you bring your broom?
Oh,
Maybe they'll have one at the diner. Students may only visit Willowbrook in school chaperone outings or with permission of a staff member. Yes. And students shall not use spells in the presence of mundanes. Loretta, you may not use spells in front of mundanes.
Gotcha.
Great.
Not a problem.
And students shall treat the school grounds and its environment as if it is your home. As long as you do, it will treat you right. Now, and she kind of stops as she's led you down this long hall. You're lost. A maze that you have gone through of doors and windows. You think you passed a library, maybe a 3rd library. You're not 100% sure. A bunch of sitting rooms, one too many fireplaces. And you finally arrive at a door.
Wow, there's a lot of books here.
Oh, yes, Loretta, there is. You will be assigned books specific to your classes. She hands you a schedule, and she says, trust me, I will make sure that you get... Well, they will make sure that you get where you need to go. And on the other side, you hear a male voice. A very nice male voice. And as she opens the door, a very beautiful, blonde-haired, dark-skinned man stands at the front of a classroom. And a vest, and that matches the plaid skirt that you wear for uniform, along with, white button-down, bow tie, just eye candy. And he stands at the front of a classroom, not clearly like taking roll. We haven't been in class for very, very long. The classroom has roughly about 16 girls in it, sans the 3 desks that are empty. And as you enter to see the classroom full of Willow-Misst girls for the first time, who a few of them whisper, Miss Amora says, excuse me, Dr. Agrippa, we have a new student. This is Loretta Maytree. She makes our 60th. And we would like to welcome her to Willow-Misst. She will be joining your class. Now, I know it is the day before final exams, but circumstances have put her here. So, we want to welcome her. Now, let's see. Who? Yes. Percy and Jess. There you are. Where are your sisters?
Oh, I'm not quite sure, ma'am. I saw them leave this morning, and I thought they were coming to class, but I haven't seen them since.
Jess?
I just assumed it was a magic thing.
A magic? It is the day before final exams. What could possibly be more... Loretta, welcome to Willow-Misst. Please take a seat in an empty desk there next to your sisters. Ladies, see me after class. And she eyeballs the both of you. Percy and Jess, I'm gonna have you both go around. Tell us what you're wearing and what you look like sitting here in the middle of class.
So Percy is in kind of a nice white blouse. She's got the school blazer on, which is more of the sort of crimson color. And she's in a longer plaid skirt, just with flats. She does have sort of unusual hair color. She's got dark black at the roots. It fades into gray. And she's got more jewelry than the school dress code probably would want her to have.
You're probably like bangles when you move.
There's definitely some bangles, long earrings.
She's so jingly.
She's not jingling as much as you would think she would, but you definitely know where she is.
I was gonna say, I imagine it's more like wooden bracelets and things. So they like clank, but they don't like jingle. Yeah.
Yeah, and it's gems. Like it's very like hippie natural.
Yeah.
Look.
Love it. I dig it. And next to her sits Jess. Jess Hannah. Tell us, what does Jess look like sitting there in history class?
She's probably dressed as like she's as casual as she can kind of get away with it. So it's like kind of like halfway undone. Her like she has her sleeves rolled up. And she actually has like kind of like messily tied back, flashy bright green and blue hair.
I love it.
She just kind of like is also just kind of like slouching a little bit.
Yeah. And I'm guessing, Loretta, you take a seat next to one of the empty seats next to them. The beautiful man that is teaching the class, and I mean just like beautiful man, Dr. Agrippa. He begins, well, welcome, Loretta. I am Dr. Agrippa. I will be teaching your history class. I would like to welcome you. It is, of course, the day before final exam, so I hate to inform you. You will not be served an exam, of course, but the rest of the ladies will. So today is going to be a recap, we'll call it. But the ladies are going to lead us, aren't you, ladies?
It's just kind of like, just slouches down.
Certainly. Yes.
I like that attitude, Percy. Now, let's see. Where do we begin? All the way back at the beginning of the semester, when we started studying witch history, we must start with what? The first witch. Who was she?
Percy raises her hand.
Yes, Percy.
Lilith.
Correct, Percy. Very good. Lilith was in fact the first witch, and she fell in love and had 4 children, yes? How many of those children were witches?
Oh.
Yes, Percy.
3.
Wrong, Percy. 2 witches. Well, correct, Percy. Explain your answer.
So, there's Mab, and I have to open up.
That's
the
okay.
PDF.
Yep, it's Mab, and the other one starts with an I. I have it marked too.
Yeah. I don't know where my is.
Yep. Okay. Well, you know what, Percy? While you're thinking about it, to name all the children. Just kidding.
Okay.
No,
I
it
mean,
is.
I know it. What page? Do you remember what page?
Yeah, 86. Oh, Isis. Mab and Isis.
Yes, that was it.
He says it. He says, okay, Percy. Yes, Mab, Isis. What was the other one? Do you remember? Top of page 86 in your textbook.
Sorry, you guys.
That's okay. Take your time.
There was Isis, Mab, Echidna. Did I pronounce that right?
I was gonna say Echinida. Echinida.
Echinida.
And the boy.
Gilgamesh.
Gilgamesh, correct. Now, Gilgamesh had no powers. He was what we would consider one of the very first mundanes. He was a strong fighter, though. Yes?
Yeah.
What about the other three? You mentioned them being witches. What about Echinida? Anybody? Echinida? Well, looks like we need to... Yes, Percy. Yes, he doesn't... He, like, turns around and knows you raised your hand without even having to look. Yes, Percy.
Echinida had control over the darkness and the darker aspects of things.
This is right, and she was terribly jealous of her two sisters, and she began building an army on her own. One of the oldest witches' tales of betrayal upon family, a unforgivable sin in witch culture, was started by the darkness Echinida. She killed her brother, and almost killed both of her sisters, before they got back. When they returned, Echinida tricked Gilgamesh's son into believing that his sisters had killed him, not Echinida. And it was only after many centuries on a plane dark by Echinida's power, did Lilith return. And when she returned, she taught them quite all a lesson. And we began to live in tandem again with the mundanes, the witches, when Lilith's power returned and there was balance once again. And then, what happened? Anybody? No? Oh, is anybody going to okay. The exam tomorrow, no? Alright. He begins to, write in chalk on the board now. Begin to outline things. He says, well, first, there was, of course, the Great War between the siblings. And he, underlines it. He goes, next, we know that it was the Golden Age, yes? Where humanity began to rely on itself and no longer needed witches as this powerful essence in their lives. And then we get the Coven of the 13. Now, who wants to talk to me about the Coven of the 13? Anybody?
Percy just, looks around and slowly raises her hand. This is common, that she's done all the reading. And
yeah. She's like, yes, Percy.
Well, the Coven are the ones that established the first Witches' World Council.
Correct! Yes, now Loretta, you were probably told and potentially met the Witches' World Council, yes?
I was told about them, but
great. The Witches' World Council started millennia ago, child. Yes? They established for us what is considered structure in the witches' world. And they would stand as law for almost 2,000 years. Now, in about 1905, there was a great woman named Titania who traveled the world. She wanted to educate everyone. And unfortunately, we got to the Great Inquisition. And he, writes Inquisition on the board. Down his, visual timeline for all of you. This is a time dark in the witches' timeline. Many of us know it as the witch hunts, where witches were already in hiding, and instead the mundanes proceeded to kill more mundanes in the name of witches. The Coventry that came out of this time would continue to ignore the law of the Witches' World Council, and he continues to write. Somebody, another girl in the class, leans over to Loretta and goes, psst. Psst.
What?
Where'd you get your lipstick? It's really red.
What?
Your lipstick.
What about it?
Where did you get it? It's beautiful.
It was my mother's.
Oh. Is it mundane lipstick? Shh, they have the best lipstick.
It's just my mother's lipstick. I mean...
And then, and you hear Dr. Agrippa go, Loretta, is there a problem?
No, not at all, sir. I'm sorry.
He goes, as I was saying, witches wanted to be more open about her they were again. He kind of continues. And then we get to World War II. And he, like, underlines it on the board. The most important war for both the witches and the mundanes that has ever existed. Why? Yes, Percy.
Well, it was a war in which witches and the mundane worked together to help. Also, the immortals and the witches were part of the Nazi Party. Or some of them.
Correct, Percy. This is true. There were 2 witches, well, one other kin. He kind of coughs a little bit. That were a part of that led the Nazi Party towards power. The witches partnered, correct, with the mundanes to secretly fight this mystic war. And we prevailed. At the end of World War II, the witches voted and decided it was best if we wiped the mundane world's memory of our existence. He looks right at Loretta. Many witches did not approve of this decision. And neither did the other kin. Many of the other kin had begun to show themselves in society, make it known to mundanes of their existence. There was, for the first time, a potential for us to have normal lives again. And this created quite a lot of tension. And now, we have an ordered society. One in which we are allowed to tell those that we love. And the rest of the time, we live here, doing these things. Now, do you feel you're ready for your pop quiz tomorrow?
Yes, sir.
Jeez.
Is there anybody else in this room other than Percy? Like, says it. No? Well, okay. Up. Next class. Ladies, don't forget. Please go see. Yes, yes. And he, like, eyeballs you.
Oh, right.
Yeah,
Yes.
scatter along.
Percy starts, like, kind of putting her notebook in her, like, bag and kind of picking her stuff up.
Yeah.
Yeah. You just see Jess just kind of like just like breathe out in a sigh of relief that she was not called on.
Yeah. You, like, finally, like, come up from your chair.
Like, it's like one of those things where you don't make eye contact.
Oh, you muted on
Oh,
accident.
I'm muted?
Oh, oops.
No, Jess
Oops.
did.
Oh,
Oh,
no,
I was like, I can't be
yeah,
muted.
she just had that thing where she like just tries not to make eye contact just stays as still as possible.
You
So
hear...
Loretta's just kind of looking around, still sort of lost, and then her eyes fix on Jess's hair.
Yes, it is a very strange color.
Jess, one of these days you're going to have to talk to the professors or they're not going to think you're doing any of your homework.
Not fair that I have. You all know about this witch history. I don't know. I get confused with mundane history, which I was taught.
I didn't know any of it either, but I just got here today.
Well, yeah, Loretta, you have a past. You don't even know anything yet. Come on, Jess. Like, we've studied for this. Percy is determined to make all of her roommates study and, like, get good grades
Yeah, I love it.
with her.
Well, I am looking forward to learning. I mean, I don't really know much about this place now, but everything's so pretty. I mean, I love your hair. It's so gorgeous. Well, both of your, I've never seen anything like it. Well, a little bit like yours, Percy, but never. I'm sorry. I'm just going on and on, prattling on. They're beautiful.
Oh, yes,
They
yeah.
look beautiful.
Magic, better than bleach.
Oh,
It does make the color last longer.
right. Oh, go ahead.
No, there's at the back of the room still sits one student. It's like this like super brooding, dark hair. She has green tips. She wears it in these two like ponytails. And she's got all this black eye makeup on. It's like if a 5-year-old took a crayon and just kind of colored in around her eyes, and she sits there with her hat on and just like peers out from underneath it. She says nothing.
We should probably go see the headmistress. And Percy kind of like links her arm with Loretta and starts to walk out. Like,
Okay.
oh,
Well, Percy's going, so we're not in trouble. So,
You guys kind of link arms and hit the hallways. There is definitely activity. You know that you have a few minutes in between classes.
Are we off to go see the wizard?
Yeah, off to see the wizard. As you kind of like pitter-patter through the hallways. Do you guys want to stop at lockers, or do you want to go straight to go see Miss Amora?
Percy's heading straight to see headmistress Mist right away. But she only linked arms with Loretta, so I don't know what Jess is doing.
I imagine Jess catches up pretty quickly.
yeah. Just try to.
And you guys kind of bound down the hall, which is at the other end of this 3-story is how tall the main building is. Laid out identical to one another, like every floor, pretty much. And you know that all the offices are on the top floor, so you guys head up the flight of stairs, back down the hallway, exactly the way you came, Loretta, down to Miss Aurora-Mistt's, I guess you could call it, office. Just in time, once again, to hear the next class bell ring, and the chatter kind of gets quiet as you enter her office. She sits there, in her giant red chair that matches her cloak. She has the banners of the school adorned, of course being the phoenix as our mascot. And she sits in front of fire and says, "Come in, ladies, have a seat."
Percy goes directly to a chair. She's dropped Loretta's arm now that we're at the office.
At the
and
office.
She's not afraid that she's going to get lost.
Yeah. Just sits down as quickly as possible. She wants to figure out why she's in this office.
Yeah, why are you here? Well,
Loretta sits down, crosses her legs primly, and just kind of sits like any good girl would do
yes.
from her era.
This, like I said,
horrible.
Miss Amora, she sips a cup of tea, and she has her china out on the small table in between all of you. Yeah, she basically says, "I would like the two of you to welcome your new roommate. Miss Loretta Maytree will be joining you in your bunks."
Oh, wonderful.
Yes, this means that I know you each have quite a lot of studying, and she eyeballs Jess. Knowing,
Like what you like,
she says, especially if you would like to continue to ride brooms next season.
yeah.
Yes.
No.
Percy just side eyes Jess like, told you.
But I know that your sisters will help you, and she eyes Percy. And I'm
Jess just
sure...
rolls her eyes.
Yeah, well, I'm just like back and forth. And she looks at Loretta and says, "Loretta, these ladies are going to show you around campus today. I'm giving you each an excuse from the next 2 classes before the end of the day. Loretta, after the final bell has rung, you are allowed to leave your uniform behind and wear your more personal attire to dinner. Ladies, please make sure she knows where everything is. And, of course, show her to her dorm."
Yes, certainly.
Wonderful. Well, away with you.
Thank you.
Oh, and don't forget, Loretta, we have
Yes?
the Yule Cotillion in 4 days.
Oh.
You should probably find yourself a date. Ta-ta!
Oh.
Yeah.
My mother said not to kiss any boys.
Percy just whispers, "Dates don't mean kissing." All the time. Sometimes. It'll be fine.
Oh god, I'm loving this. So
She
you
is
guys...
so lost right now.
I was about to say, you guys head out. Where do you take her? On the... Like, you guys have your little, like, campus map. Where are you showing Miss Maytree?
So we're in the main hall. Right?
You are in the main hall, which is where all classes take place, except for the greenhouse, which would be kind of on the back side.
What page are we on?
That would be 148.
It's 160 in the PDF.
There you go.
Okay.
All right, so we're out of class. This is nice.
Yeah, you guys kind of get to skip class for the day to kind of show off the campus and where everything is, including like the dining, the mess hall, and those kinds of things, which would also be located in the main hall. So basically, unless you really want to show them the, storage house, or the caretaker's house, pretty much what you have is like the sports stadium, the gymnasium that's on campus, the riding stables, and the riding grounds that you do have quite a few horses. And you guys also have the outclass rooms.
Okay. Well, Loretta, since you're new here, would you like to start by seeing all the classrooms and stuff first? We're in the main hall.
Classrooms are the same from class to class. Let's go. You see one schoolhouse, you see them all. Let's go outside. We have a free. This is free out of class. Let's have some fun at least.
Okay. We'll at least walk by and point them out to you. We'll help you get there properly tomorrow. Well, we have to still get out of the hall. Jess, come on.
So you guys go out the front door and decide to take the long way around, which means you could at least like point to where the dorms are, right? And you could like point to where like the teacher's facility is, which is also where you'll find the I guess the nurses station or the nurses quarters that's open 24 hours. And you guys kind of loop around then to the back side of the building. And Loretta, as they bring you around the back, you cannot miss it. You cannot miss the giant stadium that sits on the back of the grounds. It matches in facade in terms of there being a lot of white marble and a lot of stained wood in terms of the aesthetic of this arena. Is really open arena is what it is. Why don't just you start talking about this place? I'm sure you spend a lot of time here.
Well, this is the most fun part of the school, the school arena. You know how to ride a broom, right? And everyone does.
I do. Mostly I just... There's a mop that I used to ride on back in my old diner. It's a funny thing. I mean, I would just, do it to show off to my friend Wednesday. Because she wasn't really good at broom riding, but it made her smile, which is weird because Wednesday didn't really smile that much, come to think of it. Oh, I'm sorry, I'm prattling on again. But no, I've never seen stadiums so big. I mean, the one Dreamland Chasers had back at my old school was, I'm sorry.
Well, if you're any good, you should join the team. It's good to get out of the classroom every once in a while.
I'm okay. I'm much better. I'm much better cooking, actually.
But you should at least watch. At least
Oh, of course. I love watching games. Never seen a broom.
Well, it's not.
Is it football or is it like baseball?
Oh, there's. We'll talk about it later. But there's also baseball and like soccer. You can have like.
Oh, it looks like gym class may be going on the field. So if you guys maybe wanted to take a peek, you could walk inside the stadium if you wanted.
Mm-hmm. Let's go.
Oh, well, we can just show you. There should be a class doing gym right now.
True story.
Oh, okay.
Let's go see. And
I go wherever you guys go.
Let's go then.
And you guys kind of walk through the underground piece to get kind of into it, the locker rooms and such, and you lead her out through the vomitorium, which is what the technical term is, and it places you onto the field, where, Loretta, you are overcome with your senses. There are girls playing soccer, the kind of ground sport of choice, if you would, and in the air, you can see there are girls on various riding things, mostly brooms or variations of brooms, going in circles. Yeah, and they just keep coming back around, and they seem to be like racing. They're like bumping each other, and a soccer ball comes flying at the three of you. The soccer ball comes flying at the three of you. What do you do?
Percy does not notice because she's taken a step back and is going to Instagram showing the new student around. But she definitely makes sure only to get the soccer team and not the people on the team.
Okay, so I'm going to have you all roll me an athletics to either catch the ball.
Oh, yeah.
If you would like to, like, I'll let you roll the athletics. So, in Witch Girl, since we're all learning, it is a dice-based system. More importantly, what you do is with your stats, just like you have in any other RPG, instead of assigning, like, a numerical value, you actually assign a dice, D4 through D10. So you only have one dice of each to use on a specific skill of your choosing. And then you have different kinds of skills that you can take on. In this case, Jess is going to be used what we call the athletic skill, which is based on body. So you're going to take any bonuses you have to your athletics and add it to your body die.
Okay, athletics. Okay, yep. Got
I
it.
do not have that.
That's okay. That's perfect. I love the idea of like a ball flying straight for Loretta May's face.
Let me see. Come on.
Did it roll it?
There we go.
Okay, cool. So you rolled a 10. That's actually pretty good. You managed to step in and probably like headbutt it. How do you want to catch it? What do you want to do with the ball that's flying at you?
Oh, she just like palms it and then just kind of like just kicks it back at them. Just kind of like shoots a dirty look at the other students that like kicked it.
Yeah, it seems to be a group of girls. You know these girls very well. They play soccer. They don't ride brooms, but there's a little bit of a tiff between the broom riders and the soccer girls. We'll call it friendly. In the meanest kind of way. You get this ball and kind of toss it back at them, and the three girls kind of like stand there. They're actually triplets. They're sisters. And the three of them like they like kick the ball around and then like run off after having kicked it right at Loretta Maytree's face. Loretta probably had no idea.
Nice. I'm sure it was just an accident.
Oh, I'm sure.
A whistle blows, you know, off in the distance. The coach comes out and kind of rounds everybody up. What do the three of you do now?
Well, Percy's put her phone away and has joined back.
Yeah, like, have you been insting something in particular?
She Instagrammed a photo of sort of the back of Loretta and Jess as they look out on the field, and it's like, got out of class, showing the new girl around.
And like blogging it.
Yeah.
What are you looking at there? Is that a camera?
Yeah. It's my phone, and it's got a camera, and I can post pictures online.
With a phone?
Oh, yeah.
How does that work?
Well, it connects to the internet.
Where's the cord? What's the internet? There's a net. What's inside of?
Loretta, do you not know the internet?
The what?
Oh, okay. Well, so that's a really big question, but let's just say that there's no cords and it can talk to anybody.
My goodness, that sounds fancy and magic. Is that what witches have come up with lately?
Well, science mostly.
Oh.
But also magic, because like my phone can call literally anybody.
Oh.
They don't even need anything else.
Can it call dead people?
I don't do that kind of magic.
Oh. Okay.
I mean it's fine, but like I'm more plants.
Oh. Okay.
Yeah,
And she kind of like,
is that a plant? Is that phone a plant?
no, but I work with plants.
Oh,
kind of
okay. I'm sorry. Everything is just so new to me. I swear, I mean, goodness gracious, I must be dreaming.
You'll get used to it.
Yeah.
It's fine. You'll get used to it.
Yeah, you just see like Jess give Percy like this little like, oh my god.
Percy's definitely got this like that blogger and headlights look. Like, I can't believe you don't understand the internet.
Yeah, I think we both have the same look of like, she doesn't know anything.
You
like she also like, is this a magic thing? Is this a magic world thing, Percy? I kind of whisper it to her like,
not knowing the internet? I mean,
Yeah.
Maybe, but I'm pretty sure even like really remote places have the internet now.
Okay, I just wasn't sure if it's like a magic world thing, you know?
I mean,
Okay.
I don't think so.
We're gonna have to talk to her about the internet at some point.
We're gonna have to like go to the library and show her how it works at the computers there.
Loretta, as they've been talking, you've been like looking around, and you begin to realize a few of the girls that are just like also walking on campus also have these devices, and they're like, everybody.
My goodness. These things must be magic. I swear it just entrances everybody.
Oh, it's not a magic thing, it's a mundane world thing.
Oh. So let me get this straight. Mundanes, or as I just call them people,
Yeah.
are supposedly not really in charge of magic, but they still hold power over witches through phones?
You just see this kind of like
Not quite.
I think I broke them.
there's just a lot of normal people compared to the amount of magical people.
Right. It's like there's a lot of
Right.
mundanes, smaller amount of witches, and some of the things the mundanes come up with are really great. Like cell phones.
Oh, I believe it. One time my friend Opie, he made this really, really, well, I would just say it was swell. It was a swell fishing rod one time. It was just sort of mixed together, but he just kind of wrapped I think it was a telescope on it, and for some reason it worked. Oh, I'm sorry. I'm just prattling on again.
As the three of you are kind of standing on the lawn or the open area, grassy area between the arena and the equestrian stables, like where the riding stables are, you hear the crunch of grass come up behind you, and you hear someone. And she says, "Oh my God, what is this sob story?" And you turn around, and there is none other than the Princess Lucinda of Nightbane herself, standing there in her riding gear and her vest, with her, they have to wear like a jockey helmet and stuff like under her shoulder, and she's got her best right-hand girl, which I gotta remember her name, and I can't off the top of my head, so we're gonna keep going. But she, Princess Lucinda Nightbane kind of stands there and stares at you. She says, "Oh, the Weird Sisters have a new sister."
Lucinda, what do you want?
Oh, I don't want anything, but I'm sorry. Did you say something, Loretta? Oh, yes, I know all about you. They said that you were, like, old or something.
I'm only 16.
Or you look like my grandmother dresses.
Well, then your grandmother's got really good style, and you can
Thank you, Percy.
Oh, that's right. Percy knows because she runs a fashion blog. She goes, yeah, and she only uses Instagram.
What are you doing here, Lucy?
Oh, just walking between classes since I exempted out of my exams and all that.
Oh yes, good. Going to braid some horsetails?
Oh, not me. One of those orphan girls that has to work a job or something here on campus.
There is no shame in working a job and in hard, honest work.
Oh,
There's no shame.
yes. Yes.
Well, I mean, all my life, ever since I was old enough to cook, I was working at my mom's diner, the Witch Elm Diner in Daydream.
Oh, no.
And we had the best macaroni and cheese and tomato soup, and don't even get me started on the chicken and dumplings.
I was about to say, the girl next to her goes, "Well, shucks." They laughed and they said, "Guess we'll have to come sit down at the diner and let you serve us tables."
Say shucks around here?
And she's like, "Yeah, I guess we'll have to come to the diner and let you serve our table."
Well, sure. I would give you a discount.
Oh, it's okay. We wouldn't need one. And she goes, "Let me introduce myself. I'm Princess Lucinda Nightbane."
Oh, royalty. And she curtsies deeply.
Oh, it's like I kind of like don't. I keep it like don't do it.
Oh,
She's not
look.
Percy goes with Jess. Like they both instinctively just like grab her and just like don't.
I was about to say she looks right at Jess, and it's probably significant.
It's only polite.
You just see like Jess kind of like you just know like when she smiles, she smiles with her mouth closed, but now she's kind of like stares at her. You can kind of like see like slightly sharp canines. She's kind of like oh.
She goes, oh, right. Well, guess we'll see you around.
God, I hope not.
And as you say that, she like points a finger. I want to cast the first spell, but I gotta look it up because I can't remember exactly what it's called. She's gonna try to cast a spell on you. It's called.
Fuck that shit.
Yeah, she's.
Oh, hey.
It's basically. I'm not gonna remember the name of it right off my bat, but basically, you are gonna get to make a roll against it. In this case, it is an alteration spell. So she's gonna roll an alteration, which in this case is magic.
Can I tell she's casting something?
I mean, she kind of like does this, so I'm gonna say if you want to try to notice if she's gonna cast magic, you can roll a reflex. So whatever your reflex is plus.
Okay, so just reflex.
So basically the way it works in Witch Girls is you have pool points that you use to cast magic from. So you don't have like endless magic, you kind of have like a life source.
Yeah.
She is going to use some of that. You have the dice that are associated with your skill. So in this case, it would be a mind for you. This would be a mind, I would take mind. Or senses, because you're trying to sense if she's going to cast something. So you would do senses. Plus, if you have a skill associated with, I'd take anything. Anything that has to do with social banter. There were like a whole list of them, wasn't there? There was like, I would take, what is it? I saw it just a second ago. Gossip. I would take gossip.
Okay, I've got gossip.
I knew you would. So that's a social, so you would roll a social for that one.
Okay, so social. Okay, so social roll with the gossip points, okay?
Correct.
So
roll that right on up. Let's see how you do. She's going to roll it's being very slow.
Okay, so a 6.
A 6. So not quite high enough to realize that she's going to cast magic necessarily. But you are, but you do recognize that, like, she's definitely being mean and she's going to do something. And when she, like, flicks her wrist, she casts this spell on Jess. And Jess is going to get to make it's basically magic against magic. So I get to finally make a roll. What's up?
All right.
So she's going to be rolling a d12 because that's her highest, is in magic for her. And then she's going to get to add, oh man. Okay, well she didn't do so hot either. So she only rolled a 6. Oh no, I rolled a 10. I lie, I rolled a 10. Okay, so you're going to roll against me to see if the magic takes. Let's see.
So it's it's just my magic dice?
It's just your magic die. And your what would this one be? This would be your will, actually.
Oh,
because what she's trying to do is seal your mouth shut.
Oh.
And so since Percy knows her pretty well, does she have casting tells? Like she
the point, which in witch culture is actually super rude. You never point your finger at someone unless you're probably ready to go into combat. But she has a tendency to point at people, and when she like makes that flick motion.
So since Percy knows that, can she cast a protection spell on Jess?
Yeah, you can try to beat her. You have to roll higher than a 10 on her magic.
Okay.
So it would be your magic die
casting,
plus whatever the bonus that you get for the type of magic it is. And then if you have a particular spell, you'll add to that as well.
Do I add any modifiers for the magic?
In this case, it would be your will D8, and then if you have some kind of, it's
not a D8. It is 100% not a D8.
Oh, okay. It is 100% not a D8. It is basically it is a will-based spell. It would be. I was gonna see if there was anything I thought.
Oh my god! Please roll high. Oh no.
So I got a 9 for casting Toughen, which basically would give like a +1 to body rolls to resist damage and ignore 1 point of damage.
Okay, so it actually doesn't really do any damage. You just watch as, like, when you cast it, you almost parry her spell. Like, they hit her mouth basically at the same time. And they fight for a second, and you watch as Jess's lips, like, and then finally they, like, seal shut. They finally, oh no, there's a D12 still sitting on somebody's face, I'm sorry. They seal shut. And as she walks off with her little, like, giggly friend, she says, "I'm sorry, Jess, I couldn't hear what you were saying." And they, like, giggle, and she says, "Later, toadstools," and walks off. And she flicks her hand when you get just far enough where your mouth, like, comes back.
Well, that was just rotten.
You see her, like, like, kind of just growling, just kind of seething, because she can't, like...
Yeah.
Physically go at her.
You can tell that, Loretta, you may be picking up on the fact that you guys get picked on all the time by the princess. All the time.
Yeah, and then you see her. It's okay. I'll just have an animal poop on her head at some point. It's okay.
Oh, yeah.
It's okay.
You know where she sleeps. Let's put toads in her bed again.
Yes. Just, yeah, if you see her, avoid her. She's super rich. They're worse. I've had super rich classmates. They're worse when they know magic. 100% worse. She is the worst.
Yeah, we don't bow to her. Yeah. In all honesty, screw her.
You know that the girl that's with her's name is Cersei Woodsworth, and it's Princess Lucinda Nightbane. Those are your 2 new NPCs. Thank you! Dropping and splashing in the pot. And looky what that did! Holy bejesus. That filled up our drama bar, gang.
Oh, God.
Holy bejesus. So, that just filled up our drama bar. So when the drama bar is full, it means drama is bound to happen. So, you can fill the drama bar using bits, specifically. If you make a donation, I have to add it, like, at the end, but it will eventually, like, help the bar. I guess I'm gonna have to, like, up the bar. I wasn't actually expecting somebody to, like, nail it first time around. Which is pretty awesome. So, thank you very, very much. If you guys didn't know, you can make the drama bar put some drama. So I'm going to reset the drama bar and give you guys some drama, because it'll reset every time we drama bar. So, first things first. You guys are walking back. It is definitely kind of ending the school day. So where are you guys headed?
I would say Percy would want to head back to their dorm and put her stuff down and change for...
And change clothes? Yeah, for sure.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, so yeah, you guys you literally have to go the whole opposite side of the campus. It's very large. It's about a mile across in totality. Like, if you get the, like, nature woodsy area and all the farmland and everything, too. So, it takes you a little bit, but you get it. What, dare I ask, where do you guys live in the dorms? You guys, like, it's probably just a basic size dormitory. It only houses 60 girls. So it's not too big. It is 2-story. And it's pretty much just a basic hallway. And then there are these big rooms, kind of separated, if you would, that sleep 6 girls.
So you guys can change if you don't like it, but I would think ours would be first floor, like the farthest one down the hallway.
That's fine.
All right.
So we're like
in our own little corner and our own little chair. Yeah. We can be whatever we want to be.
It's easy to sneak out of that one too.
Percy can paint her walls and no one sees it right away.
Yeah. Okay, so you guys kind of walk down the halls. There are a few girls that have already made it back. There is a, like, lounge area in the downstairs area. There's, like, couches and chairs and things there, a fireplace where you can, like, study. But most of the girls don't really hang out there. A lot of the girls really like to go into town to hang out, because there's, like, an ice cream parlor and a diner. There's a small coffee shop, just kind of the works, other things to do off campus, but it does take you a little bit to walk into town. So, and you do know dinner call, which all girls are required to be at, is 6 p.m. on the nose.
What time is it when classes end?
Classes would end about 3:30, so you guys have a few hours.
Oh.
Yeah, you guys have a few hours. You still haven't seen your other sisters, and there's no sign that they've come back to the room.
Well, do you guys want to change and we can show you a little bit of the town before dinner?
Oh, sure. I need to unpack anyway. Shouldn't take too long.
I thought you never asked. Let's hurry up and let's go.
Awesome.
So,
Percy ducks into her room, or her part of the room.
Okay, so
is it like an open dorm room a la the
Yeah.
Hogwarts dorms?
yeah,
or
I
is it-
guess so. It's more like you walk into the open area. There's a flight of stairs that go to the right and left. They both lead up to the second floor. As you go down the hallway to the right and left, it's pretty much identical. If there are 60 girls in 6 room, there are exactly 10 rooms. So there are 5 dorm rooms on each floor.
But inside the dorm room, it's just like
Yeah,
beds.
it's basically beds, the individual beds. They allow you to kind of decorate your dorms as you see fit, as long as there's nothing obscene. And they allow you to, you guys can separate it and kind of barricade it off. Provided to each girl is a single twin-size bed, a trunk, a dresser, and a desk. So it's a pretty big room per girl. I mean, per 6 girls, because you got to get all that stuff into one place. So
okay.
I imagine we probably put up some sort of partition for each one, because if there are 6 girls, like, they're probably one that,
yeah, every once in a
fine.
while.
I feel like we have like curtains, and you can clearly tell which girl put up what curtain to
Oh, yeah.
separate her space.
This is actually great. There's an empty bed, which of course will become Loretta's, and your gear and your fat cat are sitting right there.
oh, Mr. Whiskers, are you feeling like you like the place so far? Oh, Percy, Jess, this is Mr. Whiskers. He's my kitty. Isn't he precious? He's
Hi,
just
Mr.
so darling.
Jess just looks worried, like, at this point. It's like, oh, a cat, good. It behaves itself, right?
Oh, he's just a doll. He follows
And then
me
she
everywhere.
Jess kind of makes, like, pointing eyes to, like, her bird. That's, like, this cockatiel that's, like, in a cage.
Oh, crap.
Yeah, it's like, it preens its feathers when it sees the cat.
Yeah.
I don't know, is cat in its taste? Does it even like cat?
So, random question for you, Chels.
Mm-hmm.
This is DM's choice, but I have a babble ring which allows me to understand languages. Does
Oh,
it work with animals?
what?
can
It's
talk-
Witch Girl Adventures. Of course, it works with animals.
Okay,
gosh.
perfect. You guys don't worry. Me and Mr. Whiskers will have a chat, and your birdie will be just fine. And then Percy kneels down to be eye level with Mr. Whiskers, and they start talking. And she's like, Mr. Whiskers, we all have to share this room together, and Jess has a pet bird that's off limits. You have to leave the bird alone. And she just starts going.
I imagine that the cat can probably, like, smell that, like, Jess is probably, like, not human. Partially not human.
Oh, that's true. I didn't even think about that. Okay, so question, Loretta,
Mhm.
or I guess maybe Catherine's a better person
Yeah.
to ask. What does Mr. Whisker sound like?
He's just a regular cat.
Okay, it does in
He's
fact.
not a magical cat.
I was
at
gonna say,
all.
so as you walk over, kind of in the area, you're right. He does he watches he's fat cat, so he rolls over. He doesn't stand up, and he sniffs the air and the area, and you're in, and you see him then he cleans himself because he's got to get the smell out of his nose because there's something there. And as you start talking, Percy, to it, he's like, "I'm just a fat cat. I have no interest in eating a bird. I'm just a normal house cat.
Does the bird want to play?
Would the bird like to play? I have not played in a long time.
Well,
In a long time, being since this afternoon.
It's been such a long time. I've been sitting on this bed for such a long time."
I understand we've been gone quite a while, but we'll have to see if our bird friend here wants to play a little later.
Okay, I would like to play. Not really, I don't. Can I sit here?
Yes, this is a great.
It's licking itself. I'm
I hope one of the other 3 girls isn't allergic to a cat.
Awkward.
Oh no, it's slept in. Of course, it would sleep in their bed or whatever.
Right. So it is after classes, which means you are allowed to put on your own personal attire. What do each of you change into for dinner?
Percy is going to change into a pink top, high-waisted pants, and kind of a greenish teal fringy over robe thing.
Yeah.
Kaftan, I think might be the word for it.
Yeah.
And some sandals.
It's a sandals. Okay. Yeah, it is, late summer, early fall, so you're fine.
Oh gosh, Loretta's gonna open her bag and see her clothing in color for the first time.
Mm-hmm.
And she's not gonna know how to match it. So she ends up pulling out like a bright orange sweater and
There's a role for this, I know it. There's gotta be. Look! Oh no, that's like normal look. That's not like your fashion. That's not like a fashion look. I guess it could be if I wanted it to be.
I mean, she's got like a high score in like art and sewing, but I don't think that really counts.
No, this is probably more streetwise. Like how you would dress into this society is kind of, we're going to call it streetwise.
Maybe?
Wait, streetwise? Yeah, it's just a straight up social because you don't have any points in it, so just roll your social die.
Yeah, okay, let's see. That's a D8, so... Oh, bam. Oh, wow.
Oh!
Okay.
You do it so well that you're right, it's atrocious. Like, you, like, perfectly match all your pieces. Like, you're like, well, if I got a match, I've heard I'm supposed to match, right? So you pre-match all your colors, and it's just, like, one solid color tone, Percy.
Nice. Yes.
So, Loretta's going to dinner in one color. What color did she choose to match from top to bottom?
Oh, gosh. Let's go with just bright orange.
Oh, no.
Oh, wow.
Percy's gonna take
What?
one
It's
look
pretty.
at her, and like we're gonna fix this.
I think we're both like, oh, wow.
Well, my things are in here. If you want to take a look, I mean, yeah.
What kind of things did she pack? You said like her Sunday best. There's definitely
Sunday
a cardigan in
best,
there somewhere.
Play suits. I mean, if you've seen it in a 1950s sitcom or like pinup clothes that are like just the not the pinup, but the just if you've seen it on like pinup
like
girl
retro.
clothing, it's probably in there.
Okay.
I think the only way Jess has seen any of this stuff is like the vintage stores.
Yeah, and there
Stuff like
actually
that,
is
yeah.
a vintage store in town. That's how you could totally put it to that. There's a vintage store in Willowbrook that sometimes the girls dress at as kind of like a, like a vintage thing, like a throw thing to do on Saturdays.
I mean, she's from the Pacific Northwest. She knows what all that.
Oh
stuff
yeah,
is.
oh yeah. But hers look in incredible condition.
Mm-hmm.
They look beautiful, and potentially legit. You're not 100% sure. It's just you're right. She dresses from a thrift store, at least for sure.
Yeah, I mean, not dressed from, but just like the style is like. That's where I've kind of see that stuff from. Like, you usually don't see people wear it.
Yeah. So, what about you? What do you wear to dinner?
Are we going to town or are we going to dinner?
It doesn't matter. You're basically just putting on your pedestrian clothes.
Oh yeah, geez.
You're welcome to ask them if you want to. Where are you going?
We said we would take her to see the town.
Oh yeah, Jess just puts on like a kind of a loose tank top, kind of like short jeans, and then like kind of like foiled like leggings and stuff, and like a hoodie and stuff.
Okay, pretty normal. Like, you look very mundane in the terms. Yeah, I got you. Okay, very cool.
Yeah.
And you in fact do. When you head over, it's going to take you guys a while to walk into town. About 45 minutes. As you guys take this nice little stroll, and you get to show Loretta this town. You actually have to come off of what is very isolated, like, hill type area where the ground sit, and you guys walk out the gravel path that leads you to the road. And you guys can walk the 45 minutes into town. Anything in particular? You will walk past, like, the little, like, area that goes to the creek I was talking about earlier. Buccaneer Hill is just around the corner, as well as the Woodcrest Cemetery.
I would think that on the walk, like, Percy and Jess would be pointing out the different places they were passing, but also trying to, like, ask Loretta about herself so they can have, like, a better idea of what's going on.
Yeah, because we're going to town to see what she likes.
Yeah.
So, Yeah. Well, let's see. So as you pass, here's some things. There's some signs you see, Miss Loretta. Like I said, you see the sign for Buccaneer Hill. Probably one of those, like, single spoke signs that lead, like, all the different directions, because it's just cute and I like the visual. You see Moaning Creek, which is connected to an area called Sunnyside Camp, and looks like it says docks, like, written underneath the sign. They must have some kind of docks there. Willow Lake, Woodcrest Cemetery, and then it says in town. There's a sign that, like, points farther down that leads in town.
Perfect. We're gonna
Yes.
go to town.
Going to town. You guys,
Along the way, you definitely catch Percy like posting at least once or twice on Instagram as they go.
And then you just kind of see, like, every once in a while, you just see, like, Jess look at, like, kind of like her phone, like, makes a point. She just like sees what Percy's been, like, posting.
yeah. What have you been posting, Percy?
Yeah.
Best friend code, you gotta like it the second it gets posted.
Yeah, it's like, yeah, she knows the deal. She knows.
Yeah, I was about to say she knows. She knows.
Like, yeah, so Percy definitely Instagrams her outfit. Let's be real.
Okay,
Good
yeah,
quality.
it's not a start to an evening without one.
Of course, we post it every day.
Right.
And then she is going to grab another photo of Loretta and Jess walking. So, like, she typically won't put faces in photos unless people say it's okay, because she's, cool about consent. But yeah, so
We're all cool about consent here in Witch Girl Adventures.
We're all cool about it.
Yeah.
So she's just kind of like narrating the walk a la Instagram post.
Yeah, I feel like it's like one of those, like, hashtag almost there, hashtag almost there. You know.
Does she do, like, the moment things, like, where she's
Oh.
So probably it's like one or two posts to her main account, and then it's like all the Instagram stories.
Yeah.
Like a lot of Instagram stories.
Yeah.
So
Hashtag walking.
yeah, hashtag walking, hashtag still walking. So you guys, there are a couple things that you'll pass before you hit, like, true what is considered, like, downtown Willowbrook, which is not downtown at all. It's actually this little town in Maine has been here a long time, since the 1700s when it was founded. And a lot of the original architecture still remains. Almost as if it's kind of a little bit of a blast from the past. It's really beautiful. First off, you're going to pass Willowbrook High School. This looks a lot closer to what you know, Loretta, a school to look like. You have no question in your mind that that is a high school. Students are pouring out because it's about 4:30, so kids are all around. There are football players on the field next to it. The kind of usual American after-school activities, kids hanging out in a parking lot, lots of students up and down the streets, the mundanes.
Well, this looks familiar. A little different, though. Don't see so many girls in pants that often.
Yeah, there are pants everywhere.
I'm just thinking out loud.
We're pretty pro pants here.
Yeah.
Gotta say.
Normal high schools, kids don't wear skirts usually. It's only the, like, Willowbrook.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, they don't have
change.
Uniforms.
Yeah, they don't have
Really?
uniforms.
Oh. Well, I learned something. Learned a lot of things new today.
As you guys keep walking, a couple people, like, whisper, the Willow-Misst School that is part of Willowbrook but not part of Willowbrook is a frequent topic with the students and the kids in this town. Everybody kind of knows you're witches, but they don't talk about it. Kind of a thing
that everyone knows, but no one says.
But no one says, yeah. It's kind of like that. Like, everybody keeps it on, kind of on the DL. It's just this, like, agreed upon thing.
Can I pick up on anything that they're kind of like?
This might actually be a cool. I don't know. Do you have a there actually may be a witch skill here for this one.
Here maybe.
Yes. Yeah. Here, if you got it, roll it. So roll the dice associated with here.
Can I use busybody for that?
Sure.
That's about like,
it's like eavesdropping as you walk past.
Eavesdropping, yeah. So that's 1d10 plus 2. Okay. Can we roll that? All right. That's...
Percy has no socially aware skills.
I don't know why. I picture like my dad's. She's not really my stepsister, but she basically is. And she's this 16-year-old. And she's just like the worst Instagram child that has ever existed. At a 6, you pick up on a few things. Like as they walk by, you hear some of the boys like, and you hear a couple of girls go, "Oh my god, why is her skirt so long? I don't know. It's not even Halloween yet."
Okay, so normal stuff.
Yeah, normal stuff. The usual.
Okay.
It doesn't seem like anybody is taking like peak interest in you, but they are whispering about the three of you. But for you, that's pretty normal. You guys get whispered about on your own campus, so.
Yeah. I'm just trying to. I'm also like, just hearing like the chat. I'm also looking to make sure none of them are like you doing like, the like, taking like pictures or something like that, like for bad Instagram. Like.
Oh, I see what you're saying. Yeah, they're not. Yeah. No, it doesn't look like anything like that. Like I said, it's kind of an agreed upon thing in the town that there are some like barriers and boundaries that everybody's for some reason just seems to agree to. But as you guys continue to walk, you come up into the town. And Loretta, this is like small town USA. All the shops are on one major main street that leads straight down towards what is inevitably the city hall. Some of these include Big O's Donuts, Secondhand Rosie's, which is the secondhand store. Most people don't know it, but let's see. This is definitely a witch roll. This is a lore.
I know nothing.
I was about to say, you wouldn't know anything, but these ladies probably would. Actually, I would take a streetwise from either of you if you have it. I would also say you probably could make just a straight up. Let me look at the character sheet. This is kind of a witch thing, so it is magic to some degree. If you wanted to roll just your general magic attribute, I'd let you do that. Just roll your magic die.
And I got a 6.
A 6. That's all right. It's okay.
Need me to roll?
That would be your magic. This is more based on lore, though, of the town, which you probably wouldn't quite.
I know nothing.
Yeah. What'd you get? A 5.
Oh, 5.
You're not 100% sure, but you ladies occasionally go shopping in her shop, Rosie's shop. There is whispers that Rosie is a fae. She's actually not a mundane at all. And there's a part of Rosie's shop that if you get to know her well enough, she will show you. There's a beautiful town square with a fountain, because why wouldn't there be? There is Willowbrook Lumber. This is their like storefront store. Like farther off, there's the actual like processing facility, but they have like almost like an Ace Hardware or something. It's like a little hardware store called Willowbrook Lumber. And then, without a shadow of the doubt, at the end is Willow Crest Diner. That is next to the local cinema. Little tiny like 2-screen. Been there forever. This, of course, is the diner that they told you about, Loretta, that you would be working at starting Saturday. So that will be game 3. You will have to go to work.
All right.
Or at least check in. I mean, you're supposed to be hired, so. What would you guys like to do? You're like standing kind of like staring straight down Main Street.
Any place catch your eye, Loretta?
That would be a little bit of everywhere, actually. But I do start work at the diner, on the next shift anyway. So it would be interesting to see, if their chicken and dumplings happen to, measure up. Maybe I can give them a little few tips in the kitchen.
Oh, you work in the town? Yeah.
Yeah. Since I don't really have a family anymore, just need to start making some money. And I used to work at my mother's diner at the Witch Elm, the Witch Elm Diner back in Daydream, and it's what I know, and I love to cook. So
that's rad. You get to spend time in town. I actually like it better here than I actually like it back there. So
well, I can see why. It's very nice out here, and no people trying to Yeah.
Kelsey, there's a mall right here, right?
There is. Well, you guys have, okay, well, it depends on which mall you're talking about.
The Willowbrook?
The Willowbrook Mall. Yes, the Willowbrook Mall is definitely there. The Witches Mall, which is a whole separate shenanigan of a day trip, which you guys may have to go to get your dresses for the Yule Cotillion, unless you're going to probably make them like Percy does.
Loretta's all about making her own stuff. Let's just see if the colors match up.
Yeah, Jess just talks real excited about the this is all well and good, but if you really have fun, there's the mall further down the street. It's the best.
What's a mall?
It's like
it's a bunch of shops. It's so much fun.
Bunch of
I
nice
love
shops.
shopping.
Like home.
Oh, well, anywhere to feel more like I'm at home.
Oh, let's show you around then. And Percy kind of starts to like drag.
Yeah.
Oh no,
towards
like
the
Jess is like really wants to. He loves the town. Loves town.
Yeah, so you
Yeah.
guys begin kind of like walking through down towards the entrance of the mall. It's probably like the mall I grew up with, which is really more of a small. It has like 6 or 7 shops in it, a little ice cream parlor, no doubt like a JCPenney and a Belk. Nothing too exciting, but
This is what she had. This is what Jess has. She came from a big city, so this is the closest.
yeah,
thing,
it's the
as
best
small as
you
it
can
is.
do. But there
It's the
are a
best.
few like
Sears?
cute shops. Like a Sears type thing.
Yeah.
I recognize Sears. We used to order from their catalog all the time.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, there's a few things that you recognize. There's a shoe store. So probably in its your kind of basics. As you guys walk through the door, this seems to be a place where a lot of the mundane high schoolers go after school. They are all sipping pop, as you probably know at Loretta, and eating ice cream and those kind of things in the food court area, which sits in the center, along with like a little fountain, like a wishing well type thing, and the rest of the mall. And it is a bustle with people.
I feel like they would just sort of poke through the different shops and kind of just show her all around, so she doesn't feel like it's there.
Yeah, is there anything in particular, any shops in particular you guys want to...
Percy wants to check out the shoe shop because she still needs shoes for her cotillion dress.
Shoe shop it is. So you guys head over to towards the shoe shop. There is a group of mundane boys standing kind of near the entrance. They seem to be kind of just hanging out and loitering near a bench just on the outskirts of the shoe shop. And Loretta, there is one guy that catches your eye.
Ooh.
He's beautiful. He's tall and he has broad shoulders, longish hair, and he hangs out and seems to be very charismatic with the group of boys. Nice jawline, bronze tan, and he hangs out with these guys. And as he talks, he kind of turns his head and he catches your eye and then goes right back to speaking with the boys.
So,
What's that?
oh, those are some of the local guys. They go to the high school we passed.
Oh.
I mean, you're bound to see them probably like once in a while, like living in or working in the town. So.
Oh. I look forward to it. Oh, you didn't hear that. Was that loud?
And there's one guy that has double popped collars with the group of boys sitting out front of the, no offense to anybody with double popped collars, that sits out front of this store, and he stands up and he goes, "Hey, it's those Willow-Mistt girls.
He's for horses.
Hello.
Oh," he goes, "Now you, I don't know." And he comes over and like puts his arm around Loretta. This is not the hot boy. This is one of his friends.
I look at it. I just kind of like.
Yeah, you like step up and the boy's like, hey, we didn't mean anything by it. And one of this very handsome gentleman walks up and he goes, "I apologize for my friends. They can be crude."
Clearly.
Apology accepted.
Someone should teach him not to touch people without asking first.
Yes, consent, boys. They're all like. He goes, "We're sorry to bother you. We didn't mean to. Come on, guys, let's go." And they go to kind of walk off.
Hey, wait a second.
What?
Percy calls at the guy that like came to talk.
Yeah, he goes, "What?"
For.
Yeah.
What's your name?
Well, I'm Billy.
Well, it's nice to meet you, Billy.
He goes, "Yeah."
Hey, Billy.
He kind of grins and smiles and he's like, "Hi, do you have a name?"
Oh, yes. I'm Loretta Maytree, but most people call me Lottie. Lottie May.
Lottie May.
Yes.
He's like, okay, well, what? Let me make it up to you. I work at the diner on Saturdays.
Oh.
You could swing by and I treat you guys to some ice cream or shakes or something.
I start work at the diner on Saturday.
Oh, you must be the new waitress. And he kind of blushes a little bit. He says, cool. Well, I guess I'll see you there. Shakes on the house.
Cold? Oh, I'm sorry.
He kind of looks confused and he says, Saturday. And gives you a finger gun.
Yes.
And walks off. And you guys head into the shoe store.
I'm gonna take you up on that milkshake, Billy.
Yeah, he gives you a thumbs up as he walks off.
Gosh golly, I was acting like such a dip back there.
You're fine.
I can't believe I'm gonna start work with him on Saturday.
He's kind of the bee's knees.
What do you think? He's kind of cute.
Yeah, he is. So dreamy.
You just see Jess kind of look off, just kind of look nervous, oh, that's right, there's Yule Ball.
Yule Ball. Yeah, there's that moment. And the three of you walk in together to go shoe shopping. Finding, if you're looking for something, what you're looking for. Maybe you don't. Maybe you're picky. Who knows? Maybe you place a rush order for a pair of shoes. But you guys make your way back towards town just in time to make the 6 o'clock dinner bell at Willow-Mistt. And you sit down and have a hearty helping of whatever the catering staff is cooking up for the evening. Everything at Willow-Mistt tastes like heaven. Just because I want to say it, we'll say that the lady that works there, her name is Miss Loretta. That's the woman that actually caters for my school. Her name is Miss Loretta.
For those people who aren't in the know, that's the name of the caterer that
that works for
us. We're co-workers.
Yeah.
So that's the name of our dear caterer who puts up with us every single day.
So as you guys sit down, you finish up your tasty food, you head back to your dorm to begin studying for the night or sleeping or whatever it is that you do. The sun sets, the moon rises, and your three sisters have not returned. We will pick up at dawn the next day, next week, this time, and figure out what happened to your three sisters, and let's see if they can't be introduced to the very polite Loretta Maytree. So we have exactly 3 days for those of you that are tuning in for the first time. This game is a 4-episode campaign. We're like I said, we're playtesting this material. Witch Girl Adventures. It is available and out there for you to purchase. I'll drop some links in here in just a second. There's even some super discounted bundle packs if you want to get all 20, I repeat, 20 PDFs for $25. Pretty great price. And I actually think there's a bundle too with a hard copy book that you can get as well. So I'll drop those links there in just a second. But yeah, I was really excited to do this, and I really liked the idea that everything leads up to our 4th adventure, or our 4th campaign, which is going to be the Yule Cotillion. So on our timeline today was Thursday. You guys take final exams tomorrow and Friday. You have Saturday to prep, and the Yule Cotillion is on Sunday. So that's kind of the trajectory of our little in a box campaign. So why don't we go around? We're gonna go backwards. Let's meet the cast one more time. You guys tell us who you are and where we can find you online. And what did you like about today's game? What stuck with you? So let's actually start with our lovely Gluttonous Geek.
Hi there, I'm Catherine Barsonistis. I run the geeky recipe and food blog, The Gluttonous Geek. I can be found at gluttonousgeek.com. And actually, I have a Witch Girls Adventures themed recipe this week. Based off our resident meme girl, Princess Lucinda. I have some spicy chocolate cookies on there. And you can find me on Twitter at gluttonous_geek, or, just wherever you happen to find social stuff. That's been a great game so far, and I'm glad that you seem to enjoy my squeaky clean.
Yep, she is squeaky clean. That is a good way to put it. Moving right along to Shauna.
Yeah, Shauna Flying Cirrus. I do. We're gonna post art there. Hopefully, I'll be able to do some Witch Girl art eventually once PAX is over. I have to leave, which yeah. So I'm stuff online. You do stuff with Power Square RPG. Have Saturday games. actually starting a game on the Greyhawk channel on Monday at 8:30. It is against the Giants, so it's going to be kind of a tough like intrigue war thing. It's exciting.
Oh, that is exciting. I just finished up a campaign over there. I love working for Greyhawk.
Yeah.
Very nice. So lots of places we can find you.
Yep, just Flying Series. Yeah, like this is awesome. I love kind of like the teen witch girl, like, you know, Harry Potter / witch, Little Witch Academia sort of thing. It's rad. I love it.
Yeah, it is. It's a lot of fun, and you know, it's really interesting. So when I picked up the PDF and actually started like going through it for the first time, one of the things that it really, I'm not sure why there's sleigh bells playing, honest to God, but that's cool. I picked up the PDF. I started reading through it. One of the things it talks about is like, look, if you want to do the like thing, you can do the thing using this system, but it's highly encouraged that you like live in the world of witch girls. And as I was reading through it, I thought the lore and the history, it's actually what inspired me to start this whole game. Is so cool. It's so beautiful. And I like skimmed over it for narrative purposes. I wasn't gonna like read you guys the history, but if you pick up the PDF, which I'll drop here again, actually let me give you guys the discounted one, just so that you have that, and you can find all the rest of them on Drive-Thru RPG, which is where it's hosted. He has this just beautiful section on the history, and it talks about like where the mundanes were during our Civil War, where they were during the Inquisition, where they were during World War II, and like how everything led up to that moment of choosing to wipe their memories of their existence. And it just created, like, it instantly was like, why would I ever play in anybody else's world? Like, sure, there's, like, a magic school, and we've been there, and we've done that, but, like, the actual lore and history that was set up is what really inspired me to play this game.
Yeah, it's super good. I love it. It's super in-depth. It's super good.
Yeah, I mean, too, I'm so glad you're feeling that, because I was like, I hope these girls like the lore as much as I do, because it's, like, so much of what, and I'm really glad the choice you made for your character, too. Like, that was huge for me, like, when you, which we haven't, like, totally spilled the beans totally yet, kind of, but and last but certainly not least, my Tiffany. Hi, Tiff. RTS Cosplay.
So I'm Tiffany, and you can find me everywhere as at RTS Cosplay. The Instagrams, the Twitters, all that jazz. I'm playing Percy Rosewood, and I will probably throw some of the like character art I put together for her up on here, so you guys can see her in her glory.
Yes.
And you can also find me as the current main story GM, as well as a player producer for the podcast North by Northwest, which is also with Chelsea. I roped her into it. And so you can find everything there. I am so in love with this game already, and I've like barely read most of the PDF. It's so cool, and I love being able to bring like my inner 16-year-old back out.
Yeah, that was also something that drew me to it, this idea of like the innocence of these girls like figuring it out, and unlike a lot of, I don't know, it kind of just spoke to me. Yep, just spoke to me. So check all three of these ladies out. Our other three ladies, once they return from PAX, will be joining us this time next week, 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, right here on my channel. I am Little Red Dot, and I am very excited to have all of you here. If you don't already follow the channel, go ahead and follow it. That's how you're going to know when we go live next week. You can also follow me on all the socials and things like that. If you don't listen to our podcast, you should. That is one place that I am doing things. In addition, if you're not really like a social media person, you can come hop over in our Discord. One of the things I'm hoping to do this week is actually release some of the artwork the girls put together for their witches. I made them all choose 3 outfits, and we're gonna like release the outfits as we go. So come join the Discord. We have a whole Witch Girls chat where we're just gonna chat about Witch Girls. We can talk about theories and their characters, see artwork. It'll be a blast. So come hop on over, and there is too some links in my Discord to put you in contact with all the North by Northwest stuff if you don't hit it up on Twitter, and you're not that, a social media person, unlike Percy.
About it. I'm this close to making a fake Instagram account.
Oh, do it!
Oh my god, that would be so much fun.
Well, you just need to come over to the school and just get a bunch of pictures of me just like looking.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
completely confused.
Love it.
It'll be great. It'll just be so every outfit I post just with the witch's hat on.
Mm-hmm.
Shoot.
Yes, all of them with the witch's hat. So, when I'm not here on my channel, this series that I run is called Monthly Indies. Right now, I'm finishing up one indie, and now we're playing into this indie. You can come back next week to catch what I think is the finale of the Capers RPG, which is superpowered gangsters. That's the best way I know how to put it. It is like an alternate history for the Prohibition. It should be an interesting close out. We missed this week because of PAX. Like, I just had too many players out, so we may add a fourth game. But stay tuned. You can find more information on that. And then there's tons of other places that you can find me. Every other Monday night, you can catch me over on Nerd Immersion's channel playing through the Princess of the Apocalypse. On Saturday, you can catch me here on my channel. I play the most shenanigan-based grouping of Stardew Valley ever, and then after that I usually pop over and I'm in a Vampire the Masquerade campaign over on Roll For It's channel. On every other Sunday you can catch me over on Monty Cook's channel playing through a Cypher campaign in the Owl of Laesia, actually with one of our lovely people, Marcy here, who is our GM. I just adore that game. And then I've got some super secret stuff coming up on another channel that hasn't been announced yet in the new year. I can, because it's my channel and I can do that, I can officially announce that our indie for the month of January is actually some original content that I have written. I will be running a Brave Little Toaster inspired campaign using Fate Core, which should be a ton of fun. I'm stupid excited about it. I finally got the cast together. So if you like the Brave Little Toaster, this will kind of be like an alternate timeline to that, where appliances have become sentient, but we're in a post-apocalyptic world and the humans hunt them for resources. And they have been told that there is a floating trash island of appliances in the water, and they have to go find the island to save themselves. So that is kind of the cute little game that we're going to be playing with a fantastic group of our peers in the month of January. So lots and lots of things coming your way. There are lots of ways that you can support me, you can support these lovely ladies, and you can support this fantastic game by going and getting yourself a copy. We'll be right back here next week, same witch time, same witch channel. And until then, remember, don't do anything Loretta May wouldn't do. Bye, everybody. We'll see you next week.